you are doing really well, but someone new, they want to enter into your business. What are you going to do? Basically, if you need to enter or welcome any new partner at that moment, legally the entity is dissolved, then you need to form another business, but that's fine. That's the legal part, but we will do the numbers. What you need to do? So, the new partner can enter into two ways. First, the new partner can purchase the interest from the existing partner. Right. So, you have two. Bianca and Jared started the partnership business. Jake wants to get into it. So, anyone can sell a portion of your equity to Jake. This is one way. Right. And in that case, Jake will give cash to the partners. The partners will get the cash. This is one way. Another way is that Jake will directly invest into the business, and in that case, the cash will go into the business, not to these two existing partners. So what I just told, I will just write down some bullet points, and I will request you will take the note here. So the admission of a partner, admission of a new partner, that can happen into two ways. First way, the new partner can purchase interest from the existing partner. And in that case, new partner, please take this note, new partner can purchase interest from the existing partner, and in that case, new partner's cash will go to existing partner's pocket. I'll write it down, the term. Will go to existing partner's pocket, not to the business. It makes a huge difference. Partner's pocket. So one scenario, it will go to the partner's pocket. Scenario number two, the new partner can directly invest into the business. And in that case, new partner's cash will go to the partnership business. Partnership business. And these two situations will make a huge difference, right? So you have to read the problem carefully. Whether new partner's cash is going to the partner's pocket or new partner's cash is going to the business. Right. Now I'll give you a silly example, but my favorite example. Say, for example, you two bought a pizza. And you decided that you will eat the pizza, you will split it equally. Right. Now a third party, they want to eat the pizza. They want to make a share. So, and you three decided to eat the pizza. So there are two ways. Either you three can accumulate all of your cash and buy a bigger pizza, or you can eat the same size of pizza, but to give the new partner or the new friend some pizza, your existing friends need to compromise their portion. So if you think it's a pizza or a pie, right, when new partner's cash is going to existing partner's pocket, then you can compare, this is the business, this is just like a pie, and a new partner is coming, the cash doesn't matter here because the pie is the same. So, the old partners will compromise their ownership to give space to the new partner. So, the pie size is the same. So, to give space to the new partner, they need to compromise. On the other hand, scenario number two, new partner's cash is going into the business, which is making the pie bigger. Right, the cash is going into the business. The value of the business is getting bigger. So in that case, new partner is making his own space. Cash is increasing. Cash is affecting the business. So in that case, all partners don't need to compromise any part of the pizza or the pie because this will help. So for every problem, you need to check whether new partner's cash is going into partner's pocket or it's going into the business. Now, let's see the first scenario where new partner's cash is going into partner's pocket. That means new guy is purchasing the existing guy's interest, and you have two methods. One is called the bonus method, another is called the goodwill method. So, goodwill method, whenever you will see the term goodwill, remember that you have to record goodwill. Right, goodwill is one new asset, you are creating that asset. On the other hand, bonus method, whenever you will see the term bonus method, you have to check who is giving bonus, who is receiving bonus. I'm repeating, if you see the bonus method, you have to check carefully who is giving bonus, who is receiving bonus. If you see goodwill method, you have to make sure you recorded the goodwill. Now let's see this example. Please pay your attention. These are the three partners, Scott, Thompson, and York. They have this business. Now, Morgan wants to enter into the business. Right. So first scenario, Morgan is purchasing the existing partner's interest, which means Morgan's cash is going to existing partner's pocket. So now in this case, Morgan's cash doesn't matter. How much Morgan is giving, where is it goes? The existing partners is taking it in their own pocket. It will not affect the value of the business. Now, you can do two methods to do this journal entry. First, let's look at the book value approach. Book value approach. Now, look at the second bullet point, please. Capital balances. These three partners, Scott, Thompson, and York. Please pay your attention. This is the trickiest part. Scott, Thompson, and York, three existing partners. Look at the capital balance. Now, can you tell me what is the book value of the business? Don't say you forgot what you mean by book value. When we did exam 1, chapter 1 and 2, we mentioned it several times. Book value. Let's see who can remember. What do you mean by book value? Book value. Book value. Anyone? Anyone? Book value. Net book value. Come on, guys. Book value. Yes, Conrad, I know you can do it. Historical is when you purchase any assets, when you record it at the purchase price, it's called the historical cost approach. But what is the book value of a firm? Book value, fair value. You remember we discussed it. Book value, based on your book. What do you mean by book? Based on your balance sheet. Look at the balance sheet. Can you tell the book value of a company if you look at the balance? What is book value? Book value. Everyone write it down 5 times. Book value. What do you mean by book value? Book value means assets minus liability. Or stockholders' equity. Nicole, we didn't discuss it, did we? The book value is what? Assets minus liabilities. Please don't forget it. When we did, you remember when we did goodwill calculations in chapter 2, 1, 2, 3, we discussed. So book value is nothing. Book value means asset minus liabilities. Or another name is stockholders' equity, right? So basically, you can say book value means asset minus liabilities, or stockholders' equity, or for a partnership business, we don't call it stockholders' equity. For partnership business, assets is equal to liabilities plus total capital. You remember for partnership business, there is no part on your balance sheet that's called stockholders' equity. Rather, we show total capital. So for a partnership business, the equation is assets is equal to liabilities plus total capital. So for a partnership business, your book value means asset minus liability or total capital. Is it clear? Please remember these things. Book value. For a regular company, book value means assets minus liabilities or stockholders' equity. For a partnership, book value is the same concept, asset minus liability. What is the value of the company? You can judge looking at their book. Book means the balance. So, for a partnership business, the same asset minus liabilities, but in another way we can call it book value means total capital. So now, second bullet point here mentions the capital balances. So if you look at these three partners' capital balances. Can you tell me what is the book value of this company? Nick? How will you get it? So you added these three capitals, right? This is the book value. Excellent. So this is the book value of the company. So if you add all of their capital, 50, 30, 20, it's $100,000. Now the new guy, new partner, Morgan wants to buy what portion of the ownership? Morgan wants to buy what percentage? 20%. Right. So that means Morgan wants to buy, this is the value of the company, he wants to buy 20% of this ownership. That means Morgan wants to see his capital here, $20,000. Right. So he looked at the company and he says, I want to buy 20% ownership. That means if you look at the company's book value is here, asset minus liabilities or total capital. So Morgan wants to see his capital 20%, which is $20,000. This will be Morgan's capital amount. So cash doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much cash Morgan brought, because the cash went to partner's pocket. Doesn't matter. So now we will show Morgan's capital credited $20,000. Remember here, the pie is not getting bigger. Previously they had three partners. Right. P. Scott, Thompson, yours. Now, Morgan's cash is not going into the business. The pie is not getting bigger. It's the same pie. So to give space to Morgan, every partner will compromise a portion of their ownership. Morgan wants 20%. So everyone will compromise 20% of their ownership. Pie is not getting bigger. To give a space, these two new guys, they will compromise 20% of their ownership. So compromise means you need to reduce their capital. So you all know capital itself is a debit balance or credit balance. Capital. Debit balance or credit balance. Credit, right. Assets are debit balances, capital is credit balance. So if I ask you to reduce their capital, that means you have to debit it or credit it. Debit, opposite thing. So the idea is that when we are welcoming Morgan, he will credit Morgan's capital, but the pie is not getting bigger. So these three existing partners will compromise their ownership. So you have to reduce 20% capital from each partner's capital balance. So look at Scott's capital balance. It was 50,000. So we're gonna reduce 20%. Everyone will compromise 20%. So that means 20% of 50,000, $10,000. Thompson's capital was 30,000. Thompson will also compromise 20% because they need to give space to this new guy. Right. York will also compromise 20%. Right. So reduce their capital by 20%. That means these are their capital balances. Take 20%. Reduce means debit the capital balance. Again, the silly example, pie is not getting bigger. So everyone needs to compromise. That's why we debited their capital. Don't forget, book value means assets minus liabilities. Book value means stockholders' equity. For the case of a partnership, book value means total capital. So we are doing the most complicated portion of your partnership concept, which is admission of a new partner, where you will have two scenarios. New partner's cash can go to existing partner's pocket. Under this scenario, you have two methods. We just did the bonus method. So, sorry, it's not the bonus. It's actually book value method. It's actually book value method. So you just did the book value method. Whenever you will see the term book value, you have to calculate the book value of the firm and check what portion that new guy wants. We did it. This will be their capital. Since the cash is going to partner's pocket, pie is not getting bigger, so everyone will compromise the portion of their pie. He wants 20%, so everyone will reduce or compromise their capital by 20%. Compromising means debiting capital. And that's what I did. Is it clear? The book value approach and the journal entry. You will have some journal entry. For your exercise problems, there is no like journal entry practice problems. The only one way is to go over the PowerPoint slide. Okay, but we'll practice. Now, we'll do the second method. This is called the goodwill method. This is called the goodwill method. Again, whenever you will see the term goodwill, you have to make sure that you recorded goodwill. You created goodwill. So now we'll see how we can record goodwill. Now, I will take you back to this slide. So Morgan is a new guy, right? Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan wants 20%. 20% ownership. And for this, Morgan is paying how much? Look at this table. Check how much Morgan is paying to get 20% ownership. Mark it in blue color. How much Morgan is paying, Jay? 30,000. So that means Morgan is a third party, outsider. Morgan is assessing the value of the company, and to Morgan, 20% means what? 1/5. 1/5 value of the company is how much? 30,000. So what should be the 100% value of the company, according to Morgan? 150,000, right, James? So Morgan is a third party outsider. He is assessing the value of the company. According to him, 20% or 1/5 means 30,000. So the whole company's value will be like this. This is the easiest way. This is 20%, so 100% will be, you have to divide it by 0.2. So it is $150,000. Right. So now try to understand. Morgan is a third party, outsiders. To Morgan, the implied value of the whole business, implied value, or I can call it implied fair value of the whole business is $150,000. To Morgan or to a third party outsiders, according to this deal, the implied value of the business or the fair value of the business is $150,000. What was the book value of the business? What was the book value of the business? 100,000. Now, can you tell me what should be the goodwill? We know the fair value, we know the book value. Come on, guys, we just finished exam 1, not even 1. Yeah, so goodwill means here, the simple way, goodwill means fair value minus book value. So, according to this deal, the 100% implied or fair value of the company is 150,000, and we know the book value comes there, and Christine helped me that book value of the company is 100,000, so goodwill value is 50,000. This is how you need to calculate goodwill. So whenever you will see the goodwill method, make sure you record goodwill first. So goodwill is an asset. I just showed you how to calculate goodwill. Now we're going to record goodwill. So record means we debited goodwill. We debited goodwill. I'm sorry if you cannot see it. I'm just taking this number here. This is $50,000. This is goodwill. We just calculated it. This is the difference between fair value and book value. So we created the goodwill, we recorded it. Now the existing partners will be enjoying the goodwill because they really did well, and that's why, according to Morgan, the fair value of the company is way higher than the book value of the company. Right, so they did really well and they did a good job, and that's why they can claim the goodwill, they can enjoy the goodwill. So we need to allocate the goodwill among the 3 existing partners. Those are Scott, Thompson, and Eeyore, and we're going to allocate the goodwill according to their PL ratio. So the PL ratio is given 20, 50, 30. So Scott will enjoy 20% of the goodwill, Thompson will enjoy 50%, York will enjoy 30% of the goodwill. So first, whenever you will see the goodwill method, make sure you debited goodwill, you recorded goodwill. First we calculated the goodwill, we checked the fair value on the basis of Morgan's deal, we knew the book value, Goodwill means the difference between the fair value and book value. Now we need to record it. We debited goodwill, and now we have to allocate the goodwill following this ratio. So Scott will enjoy what portion of goodwill? 20% of $50,000. 10,000. Thompson will enjoy half of the goodwill, which means how much? 25,000. York will get how much of the goodwill? 30% of 50,000. 15,000. So now we allocated the goodwill. They are enjoying it. So this goodwill record will have a positive impact that will increase their capital. So you have to credit their capital. So first journal entry is to record goodwill. Second journal entry is to record the entrance of the new guy, Mr. Morgan. Now, with the typo, I'll just write it down. This is M's capital or Morgan's capital. Now, try to understand it. So when you recorded the goodwill, the value of the business, right? I'm just trying to show it here. This was the previous balance sheet, right? Whatever the balance sheet they had, when they recorded goodwill, they have goodwill here, the asset side, they have liabilities, they have their total capital. So both sides, goodwill, that means you recorded 50,000 and you allocated like 3 partners' capital. That means you also increased here 50,000. That means after recording this journal entry, what is the value of your business? The value of your business is 100,000 plus this 50,000. Right, that means now the value of your business is 150,000. Right, the value of the business is now 150,000 after recording this goodwill. Remember, 50,000, we increased both sides. Total capital also increased by 50,000. We just spread it out. Goodwill, total assets increased. So this is the new value of the company. And we know that Morgan wants 20%. So Morgan will be happy to see his capital how much? The new value of the company after recording goodwill is 150,000. Morgan wants 20%. So Morgan basically wants to see his capital how much? 20% of this value. Right, so 20% of this 150,000, which is 30,000. So Morgan basically will see his capital 30,000. So now I'm recording the entry of Morgan. Previously we recorded the recognition of goodwill. Now we are recording the entry of Morgan. So we credited M's capital, which is 30,000. And then the old idea, the pie concept, pie is not getting bigger. There is a trick. Please pay your attention, Joe. The pie is not getting bigger. Again, these 3 guys will compromise their ownership. That means when Morgan is entering, the 3 partners need to debit their capital or reduce their capital. Now you will tell me, what was the beginning capital of Scott? Look at that. Beginning capital balance of Scott. What was the beginning capital balance of Scott? Kyle. What was the beginning capital balance of Scott? 50,000. When you recorded goodwill, Scott's capital increased by how much? When you recorded goodwill, Scott's capital increased by how much? 10,000. So what is Scott's updated capital balance? 60,000. Now the idea is that Scott needs to compromise 20% of his pie. So we need to reduce his capital based on the updated balance, which is 16,000. So we have to reduce 20% of 60,000. 20% of 60,000 is 12,000. So we have to debit Scott's capital 12,000. So first we recorded the goodwill. Right? Noah and Kevin, you are here. First we recorded the goodwill. Right. Then you have to check what is the updated capital balance. Then pie is not getting bigger, so you have to compromise 20% based on the updated balance. Is it clear? Let's go back. Second guy. Who is the second one? Thompson. Someone will help me. Nicole, please, I'm here with you. Look at Thompson's capital balance. before doing anything? What was the Thompson's capital balance? 30,000. Then we recorded goodwill. And when we recorded goodwill, Thompson's capital increased by how much? 25,000. So what is Thompson's updated capital balance? 55. Now Thompson needs to compromise 20% of 55. How much? So to give a space to this new guy, Thompson will compromise how much? 20% of 55,000, which is 11,000. Right, Joe? Everyone got it? We'll do the same thing with York. York's capital balance here was 20,000. When you recorded the goodwill, York capital increased by 15,000. That means 35,000. Now to give a space to this guy, York will compromise 20% of this latest capital balance. That means you have to debit the capital account. Right. So now what we did, we just did this first half. When new partner's cash is going into the business, two methods, book value and goodwill. The main concept is that the pie is not getting bigger. So you need to compromise the existing partner's capital to give a space to the new person. Now we will see scenario number 2. Scenario number 2 is that the new person is directly investing into the business. Directly investing into the business. So in this case, this was the old pie. Now the new guy's cash is going into the business. So the value of the business of the pie is getting bigger. So in that case, the old partners don't need to compromise because the new guy is making his own space. So here, how you can show it, there are two methods. One is called the bonus method. Another is called the same thing, goodwill method. Remember, in this case, cash matters. You have to debit or record cash. Right. So now let's see these two methods. Number 1 is the bonus method. So whenever you will see the bonus method, you can check who is getting bonus and who is paying bonus. Right. So let's read this example. You have two partners. I'm writing this information here so that I don't need to go back and forth. King and Wilson. So King and Wilson, they maintain a partnership and their capital balance, King's capital balance is 80,000 and Wilson's capital balance is 20,000. This is the existing capital balance. Now, a new guy, which is Mr. Goldman. Mr. Goldman, I'm writing G. G wants to get into the business and G wants 10% interest, 10% interest, and G actually invested how much? $20,000. Right, I'm just teasing out all the information. And you also know the PL ratio. Right, PL ratio is what? King is 60%, Wilson is 40%. Now we will look at the bonus method. This time cash matters. Cash is going into the business. Now look at the capital balances. These are the capital balances. Who can tell me what is the value of the company? Based on this capital balance, what is the book value of the company? 80 plus 20. What is the value of the company? Go ahead, Nick. 100,000. But now we have to consider the new guy, Mr. Goldman's cash, because it's going into the. So 80,000 plus 20,000. This is the old partners, King and Wilson's cash. Now we will also consider here the new guy because what? This was the old pie. Now the cash is going into the business. So the pie is getting bigger. So we have to consider Goldman's amount too. So after considering this amount, what is the value, Nick? 120,000. Now, Goldman wants what percentage? Goldman says what should be his portion. What percentage? 10%. So this is the total value. Now this time we'll consider Goldman's cash because this is making the pie bigger. This is going into the business. So Goldman will be happy to see his capital amount, 10% of it, which is $12,000. Right. So now, look at the numbers. Goldman is happy to see his amount as $12,000, but Goldman paid how much? This cash matters. Cash is going into the business. Goldman paid how much? Jake, you are here. Goldman paid how much? Everything is on board. Goldman paid how much? James, 20,000. Goldman will be happy to see his capital how much? 12,000. So you see Goldman paid 20, but he's fine with capital 12,000. That means the difference 8,000 is a bonus. We call that difference as a bonus. Now you have to tell who is paying bonus. Is Goldman paying bonus or receiving bonus? A common sense. Is Goldman paying? Sam paid. Right, because he's giving more, right? These two amounts difference is $8,000. So we call it, I'm sorry, this red color, you cannot see it well. This $8,000, we call it bonus. Right, now, whenever you will see the bonus method, I ask you to take a note, you have to check who is paying bonus, who is receiving bonus. This time, Goldman is paying extra $8,000. That means Goldman is paying bonus. Right, so Goldman is paying bonus. That means the two guys, King and Wilson, these existing partners will receive the bonus. That means we need to allocate the bonus between these two partners, $8,000, and we know the PL ratio. We will allocate it according to the ratio 60-40. 60-40. So I'm repeating, Goldman paid 20,000. Goldman is happy to see his capital 12,000, and James helped me. This difference extra Goldman paid, we call it bonus, and Goldman is paying bonus. So King and Wilson will receive the bonus, and we're going to allocate it 60-40. So King will get how much of his amount? 8,000 in the bonus. King will get how much? 8,000 and take 60% of it, 48. And Wilson will get how much of the bonus? 8,000 take 40% of it. Just take. 8,000 take 40% of it. 3,200, right. I just show you the number. Now let's see the journal entry. One journal entry, but you have to make sure you know how the numbers are coming. Right. So remember, this time, please pay your attention. Cash is going into the business. Cash is going into the business. Pie is getting bigger. So these old partners don't need to compromise. So cash is going into the business. Morgan's cash, which was $20,000. So we're going to debit cash. Now, it's not Morgan, I'm sorry, Goldman's cash. Now we will check, Goldman will be happy. I'm sorry, I was talking about Morgan, but the new guy is Goldman. Goldman's capital will be $12,000. So we credited Goldman's capital, $12,000. And we also checked what is the bonus. Bonus means the difference. Goldman paid 20. Goldman's capital 12. The difference is the bonus 8,000. So Goldman is paying bonus. So King and Wilsons are receiving bonus. So that's their advantage. So that will have a positive impact. So we credited King's capital. We credited Wilson's capital. And these numbers are the allocation of the bonus. Is this journal entry correct? Only one journal entry, but please make sure you know the numbers. It's a complicated concept. So we just did the bonus method. Now we will do the goodwill method. The same scenario, cash is going into the business, pie is getting bigger. Whenever you will see the term goodwill, you have to record the goodwill first. Now, who can tell me what is the goodwill? Who can tell me? So Mr. Goldman is an outsider, isn't it? Please pay your attention. The last concept I promise, we cannot practice the problem, but we have to do it next class. We'll try to do everything next class, including chapter 15. Consider this is a deal. According to a third party, Mr. Goldman, 10% value of the company means $20,000. Right? He paid this offer. He made this offer. That means 1/10 of the value of this company is $20,000. So according to this outsider, what is the 100% value of the company? 200,000, right? So Goldman is a third party. So according to him, 10% means $20,000. So what should be the 100% value? I'm writing it here. This is $20,000. So if you just do like this, so you will get, Christine just mentioned, thank you very much, $200,000. This is nothing, this is just the fair value or the implied value of the company. This is nothing, this is just the fair value or the implied value of the company. We already know the book value of the company. It's not in the total of all these capital. This is the book value of the company. Now, based on Goldman's deal, we take the fair value of the company is $200,000. Based on all these capital balances, we take the book value is $120,000. So who can tell me what is the goodwill? 80,000. Everyone is following? 80,000. Goodwill is 80,000. Kevin, goodwill is how much? How did we get it? This is the difference between fair and book. Right, we calculated the fair value based on this Goldman's deal. So goodwill is 80,000. Whenever you will see the term goodwill method, make sure you record the goodwill first. So goodwill, we debited it, and who gonna enjoy goodwill? Of course, Goldman is paying way higher than the book value because Goldman is happy to pay 20,000 only for 10% value. That means Goldman thinks that the existing partners really did well. The value, implied value is actually higher. So these two old guys will enjoy the goodwill, King and Wilson, and that's the ratio 60-40. So King will enjoy 60% of the goodwill. What is the 60% of 80,000? Kristen? Yes. So 48,000. So King will enjoy these 48,000 of this goodwill. So we have to credit King's capital. How about Wilson? Wilson will enjoy 40% of this goodwill. 40% of 80,000 is how much? 32,000. So make sure you first record the goodwill. Goodwill is debited, and goodwill, these existing partners enjoyed the goodwill, so we allocate it to their capital. First, record the goodwill. Second, record the entrance of Goldman. Record the entrance of Goldman. So record the entrance of Goldman, how do we do it? After recording the goodwill, previously the value of the company is 120. After recording the goodwill, the value of the company is 200,000, right? Because both sides are getting bigger. Goodwill asset is getting higher by 80,000. All of their capitals are increasing by 80,000. So now the value of the company is 200,000. Goldman wants 10%. So Goldman will be happy to see 10% of this 200,000. That means after recording the goodwill, which made the value of the company 200,000, Goldman capitals will be 10% of it. That means 20,000. And we already know this is what Goldman paid. So we have to record cash debit, Goldman's capital, credit 20,000. Goldman already brought cash. That means Goldman made his own space. Pie is getting bigger. None of them needs to compromise their capital. So you see, in this case, we didn't debit any capital amount. Goldman brought cash. He made the pie bigger. He made his own space. This pie example is really helpful.